something very unusual has started to happen in Egypt. It came out of the blue. It's a man called Muhammad Ali made a video saying the Egyptian government is corrupt, the president is building palaces, the people are eating out of bins. And the videos have gone viral, and the government's done everything to take the videos down, and it's not working. They're just being downloaded and re-uploaded everywhere. So it's the #1 trending item in Egypt. Not sure on what social network, probably Facebook, Twitter, not sure about that. But he has been an associate of Sisi in the past. He's labeled as a construction tycoon or just a property developer. But he's been in there amongst the top clan and seen how it works, and it's totally corrupt inside and out. Egypt has a status that is sort of, I guess, in everyone's mind in the Arab world. It has led the Arab world. It is the most populous Arab nation. It has more population than any other Arab country. It has had a leadership role, but it's kind of not been near it for the last few decades, probably since Camp David. I mean, Camp David meant pumping billions into Egypt. One of the worst things that happened to Egypt, I've been told, is the Aswan Dam. It was a aid package from the Soviet Union to build a dam, no doubt for hydroelectricity, etc. But it stopped the silting, the natural flow of the Nile that would every year flood and recede, and that disappeared. And a lot of diseases came, and it's taken a toll on the health of the country. So back to Muhammad Ali, that is his name. He's also an actor. He's calling for a protest Friday, which is tomorrow. And there's a good possibility there are going to be huge protests. And the question is open, how far they're going, what will happen. No doubt, unfortunately, people are going to get hurt. But could they go far enough to actually overthrow Sisi is a big question. The man has been called a dictator by many, but he's worse than that. He's a tyrant. And a lot of Egyptians have died, a lot have disappeared, a lot of unarmed Egyptians have died, I should add. And every form of cruelty in the book goes on, and it's a state of terror and corruption. Now, unfortunately, throughout the Arab world, the militaries have huge power, when it comes to construction or big mega sites. The military is involved in dictating what goes on and what doesn't. Even large shipments of food from abroad, the military is involved in that. But in Egypt, if you want to grow potatoes, you've probably got to get permission from the local military man. It's become such a bad situation. I believe Algeria was very much like that as well. You can't get a job or do anything without help of the military. So as much as they try to paint the protest as not against the military and for the patriotism of the country, the bigger problem is the military under Sisi has taken control of everything. And you've got all these kind of pictures on social media of big palaces being built, and at the same time you see the poverty, how many people live below the poverty line in slums, etc. I think what I could do now is maybe read out some tweets to give you the gist of what's going on. Egyptian actor Muhammad Ali has been uploading videos accusing the president of high-level corruption. Despite the government's repeated efforts to have them taken down, they are being viewed and shared by millions of Egyptians. So maybe we'll see the end of Sisi. In a strange, odd way, this could be payback for Morsi's untimely death. I don't know why. You look from afar, you look from outside the country, Egypt, and you think, well, why are they treating their own people so bad? But there's some parallels in the West when you look at the rising poverty levels and the rising homelessness. And it's just a time in history where we're ruled by people with loyalties to something other then the people in the nation. I'm not sure what Sisi represents. At best, you might say secularism, but he's very Zionistic, that we know, and he's very anti-Muslim Brotherhood. His overthrow of Morsi, he was kind of Morsi's right-hand man in a high position. I think he was the head of defense. But they created a lot of shortages of basic goods, and the people came out to protest. And of course, the Zionist press really hyped it up. You know, millions of people are going to protest, and, you know, encourage the people to do it. But it was Saudi Arabia that was really there to finance the coup and to pay Sisi and Sisi's gang. So it was really, in a sense, a Saudi coup, and also it was directed against Turkey, that was very much an ally of Morsi. And this schism between the two pervades the Middle East and even goes into Africa. If you look at Sudan, they're both vying for influence. We're constantly going back to the Middle East, it seems. It's of such importance, and I think it's not just about its oil. It's about a rich culture and no doubt a lot of our heritage. But of course, it's being destroyed. Where Egypt will go, we're all waiting to see. And there's a lot of brutality there by the authorities. So tomorrow, they'll probably have some bad news of unarmed protesters being hurt. But maybe they'll just, in their millions, overthrow the government. I need help with donations. It's been a rough, rickety month. Anything to the PayPal address or the bank account, and I always send an email reply and a thank you. Perhaps the thing I missed is mentioning the lack of education, the quantity of students in the schools. The poverty is all pervading in all aspects. They're basically getting poorer all the time.